connecting to the real nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Palmiotti, and you're listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Now pay attention and stop playing with your dick.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con. You can log on to Denver Comic Con right now and purchase tickets for all 3 days. And remember, Denver Comic Con wants to let you know that there is still tickets available for all 3 days currently, so do not buy them from third-party sources because you want to support Pop Culture Classroom, which in turn supports children's learning and other programs throughout the Denver area. So do it. What are you laughing at me for? You not going to support him?
No.
You fucking asshole.
I'm just laughing.
What about all the fucking kids' hearts you're fucking breaking?
No, I'm not doing anything.
I'm going to see how many times I can say
adorable.
fucking. While I'm promoting a kid's thing.
How you doing, Ryan?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing all right.
The voice you just heard is James.
Yeah.
And we have Brad.
Yep.
And we have Zach. And every week, the Real Nerds go see a new movie and we podcast our experience to the world. This week, we saw Hidden Figures, so stay tuned to the end of the episode where we will review the movie and also spoil a true story for you. We also talk about movies we've been watching, movie news, stuff that's coming out on Blu-ray, and we also tell you where to see movies around town in a segment I like to call Brad Going Around Town in his Jeep Cherokee. It's gray. He's pulling up his phone so he can find out what played around town.
I was just gonna say, you got to keep the song going for a little while. Brad's not ready yet.
Yeah, you ruined it, James. No, I can't cut it up.
And now he pulled up his calendar. And that's what's
the Wi-Fi in here so fast. Look at a pinwheel.
I think
so
it's
close.
your older model of iPhone.
So while the Esquire's PDF is pulling up, I can still remind everyone that January 31st is the next open screen night at the Bug Theater, where you can see Thunderbolt 2 in 3D and The After Show by Zach Eastman, who
In 2D.
Cool. Boo.
and
Zach, what's the after show about?
The after show is about a podcaster whose night goes terribly wrong when a mysterious intruder enters his house.
And if you want to see Spencer Kane in his underwear,
Then you're in luck.
Do I?
I
No,
won't
seriously.
be at that one just for that.
and then the other thing is January 25th at the Bug Theater again is another EFP Talks, and I will be co-hosting a seminar
As Marty McFly?
dressed as Marty McFly. That's just the poster
Oh.
because we're running out of time, which is the focus is managing a production in under 2 hours.
See, if you just thought Brad was a pretty face, also know that he's a clever dude.
Pretty face, yeah. Yeah.
Did I just really throw you off by doing
No,
that?
I'm trying to get the PDF to scale because I can't read the date on it. So I'm
Pay
guessing
Brad a compliment and he loses his track.
Brad, you got a pretty face.
that sounds so
Show
creepy.
me what you can do with that pretty mouth.
I'm going to talk with that pretty mouth and tell you that Donnie Darko is this Friday and Saturday's midnight at the Esquire. So
Cool.
you can see that in the theater. And the regular EFP is this Thursday. So you can see, 4 or 5 short films from local filmmakers. $5, free beer.
Awesome. Free beer.
Yeah.
There. Gonna be there.
And that's what's happening around town. Thanks, Brad.
Hey, no problem.
I really want to put make a poster for the after show, and one of the quotes is, "I'm not going to that." Ryan Frost.
Do it.
Brad,
This is
you
what's
want $5.
this This is what's playing at the Alamo Drafthouse.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Kevin Smith.
Hi, I'm Leonard Maltin.
Hi, I'm Mark Hamill.
Hi, I'm Elijah Wood.
This is Seth Rogen.
I'm Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
I'm Martin Starr.
Welcome to the Alamo Drafthouse.
On Tuesday, January 17th, Natural Born Killers will be playing. So if you want to see Robert Downey Jr. to give a good performance and sit through 2.5 hours of crap, you can.
Oh, is he in that?
He is. He's really good. He's the Australian reporter.
I've never seen it because I know I won't like it. Is that terrible?
No, you can. I have the I have the DVD. I don't know. I haven't upgraded to the Blu-ray because I have to sit through 2.5 hours of Oliver Stone movie. So.
Oh.
Speaking of RDJ, did you notice in La La Land one of the electrical boxes on the street when Mia's walking, she has her car towed and she walks to the club? One of the electrical boxes with the graffiti on it is Robert Downey Jr.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in IMAX, so maybe I need to. That's what we call in the business a segue for later.
Oh.
One Piece Film is gold. Also, I find this kind of cool that the Drafthouse is showing.
It's gold. It's it's an animated movie. It's not gold. The Matthew McConaughey film. Just as definition. Yeah.
Sorry, James. Looks like you're not going to be there.
Yep.
The Autopsy of Jane Doe is playing there this week. So if you want to see a very cool horror film, definitely check it out.
Cool.
Nasty Woman is playing on Wednesday the 18th. On Dangerous Ground is the Nasty Woman
it's a film
series. Yeah.
It's a film series on Ida Lupino.
Mm-hmm. A Face in the Crowd is playing on Thursday. And Ultraman Double Feature, which is an anime, I believe, correct?
Yeah, isn't that show?
I know it's a Super Nintendo game, and then it's probably based on a Power Rangers style show, or is it animated?
Yes, no, that's what it was. Yeah, it was a Power Rangers style show, I think.
So it's live action, but
yeah,
rubber suits.
People running around kicking mudmen or whatever, clay faces.
Yeah, and on Friday, the Mile High Movie Roast is doing Invasion USA, which is a Chuck Norris movie.
Oh shit!
Which Shout Factory put out a really badass Blu-ray of that I own.
That's awesome
because it's awesome 80s.
Did you see it? Is it good?
Oh yeah, you can borrow it if you want. It's pretty funny.
I kind of do. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And that's what's playing at the Alamo Drafthouse.
Sweet. What are we doing next?
I was waiting till someone broke the silence.
Henry wrote in.
Oh, cool.
I love art house movies. You can call me Mr. Asshole.
Hey, Real Nerds, Henry, giving you an update on our house asshole. This week, the article is on the film It's 8 A's in a row, and then an H, and then an exclamation point. It is a very artsy film that it's kind of hard to explain. It's I would almost explain it as an experimental film. Basically, it's the concept is, what would mankind be if we evolved in every shape and form except speech, essentially? And so it's essentially you see everyone's day-to-day life, and as you normally would in a slice-of-life film, but no one can talk except through grunts and monkey sounds and that kind of thing. It's an interesting concept, one that I would usually call pretentious, but in execution it's so stupid that it's hilarious. It's a very funny film, and if it's one of the things that the more you're with it, the funnier it gets. At least in my opinion, and in my experience, I thought it was funnier as it went on. But yeah, that's and that's this week's Art House Asshole. If you want to check it out, I recommend it. If you don't like it the first 5 minutes, it's not going to get any better. So, but anyway, that's this week's episode. I hope you guys like whatever you're seeing this week. Bye.
I haven't listened to it this week. Sorry, what is?
I haven't either.
It's a movie called Oh
yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I saw the article.
Real Monsters?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great show.
The art house version.
Yeah.
Something that has to do with a monkey, I think.
Yeah, it's in the vein of Where the Wild Things Are.
Oh.
Yeah.
So awesome.
No, I'm making that up. I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't watch it. So
cool. Awesome. Well, thanks, Henry.
Yeah, Henry's in New York, so he's part of that douche crowd.
Yeah. Well, not a card carrying member. He just consorts.
Yes.
He's
just
the
part
real
of it.
infiltrator.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Russell Crowe in that movie, The Insider. Only with douches.
Does Russell Crowe break anybody's arm in it?
I don't remember.
Because then I don't care.
Okay. I should.
I mean, some people would say that's one of the best movies of the year. Other people would have it really low on their list.
How many weeks is it now?
I don't know. Is it the end of the year?
Yeah. You have 52 episodes, so you get to redeem yourself.
Yeah. Maybe I also have him pay you a visit, Zach.
Maybe not. Shane. Maybe more than that, because Shane Black doesn't even have a movie this year. So, right? Because Predators is the year after.
Yeah, he's filming it right now, though. I just read
Yeah.
they started filming.
Cool. Very cool.
So, like that's actually happening is like super cool.
yeah.
And I was talking about this I think last week, where the dude who wrote Prisoners wrote the new Friday the 13th script.
Yeah.
And so Shane Black is going back to Predator. Like that's what I would do if I had clout. Like I would go back to a franchise I love and say, you know what, I want to make this. I'm going to make it awesome.
Yeah.
Because I mean, why else are you in the business? To make, I don't know, Silence? What's that about?
Hey.
Is everybody just like not in tune
No, I was
right
gonna,
now?
No, we
I-
were just paying homage to the movie by
Yeah,
being silent.
I was gonna just not talk for a second in silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
in honor of silence.
Yeah, it's a running joke for this episode now is just us not talking.
All
Martin
right.
Let's
Scorsese
have a moment
picture
of
in
silence for
theaters
this
now.
podcast.
Guess it's just gonna be like every week where I have to carry this fucking podcast.
Whoa, hey.
Yep, that happened. So I guess we'll start with I don't know what's coming out on Blu-ray.
Yeah. DVD releases and Blu-rays.
I hope it's something cool.
The Girl on the Train is
Yeah.
coming out on Blu-ray and 4K this week. So if you want to see that, I don't know. I would see that movie again.
I got a free
enjoyed it.
$10 gift certificate from Best Buy. I think I'm going to get it with it. So it'll be like, I don't know, $12 or something.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
And I love Emily Blunt.
Complete
Yeah.
your Emily Blunt collection.
She's good in that movie.
She is.
I learned that in the book, the whole thing takes place in England.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
The author of the book, or the screenwriter, wanted to take an English woman and put her in America so she felt even more out of place is the reasoning behind it.
Interesting. Cool. Keeping Up with the Joneses, which is a movie I forgot existed, is coming out on 4K and Blu-ray this week. That's the one where Gal Gadot and that dude from Mad Men are like spies or something, and then their neighbors are not. I think that was the movie. Resident Evil Afterlife, possibly the worst looking of the Resident Evil films, is getting a 4K release this week, as well as a Blu-ray release.
Needs the upgrade.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been on Blu-ray before, so I'm not sure why they're like this one alone has a Blu-ray release.
That's
week.
the only one?
Well, it's the only one that was listed. Yeah, like the other ones. See, like it's just an update of just that one.
That's
In
weird.
4K? Maybe it's the only one shot in 4K.
Yeah, well, yes, only that one is getting a 4K, but then they have a Blu-ray. It's probably just because they were like, well, if we're going to put out a 4K and put it on shelves, you might as well refresh the Blu-ray as well. But I feel like just earlier, like a couple weeks ago, didn't they do like all of them? So
Yeah, maybe that one just
I don't
took
know.
longer
Yeah, it could
to
be.
master or something.
Yeah, it could be.
Because the file's so much bigger.
Yeah. Battleship is getting a 4K release.
Much
so,
deserved.
If you really want to see Rihanna's amazing performance in 4K, you can do that now. Remember the part in that movie where all the terrible actors get like marooned on an island together? So every time you cut to that island, you're just like, oh, this is going to be bad for a while.
Yeah, like I said, it's sitting on my shelf. I got it for $1.50.
Yeah.
Whenever it was like one of those when Tradesmart had like their 70% off used Blu-ray sales.
Yeah.
I got it like a year ago, and it's still sitting there.
Oh, cool.
Because I remember it being fun, but I don't know how much fun. You know what I mean?
It's fun and stupid, like a Transformer movie.
Yeah.
Ouija, Origin of Evil.
Which, Brad, you said is actually not that bad.
Yeah, the production design of it, like going in the past and everything, I think is really cool. Like, and it has the classic opening kind of slates that they used to do. So
yeah, I heard it's actually on a lot of horror movie websites, top horror films of 2016.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't blown away by the story, but just like the aesthetic of it, I thought was a nice departure. You know, it's easy to make it like a teen horror movie type thing, modern.
Cool. Warner Brothers Archive is releasing Bad Day at Black Rock, which is a Spencer Tracy, Robert Ryan movie. So
It's a good one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. 12 Monkeys Season 2. Didn't realize that show got renewed. Maybe I should check it
was
out.
a TV show.
Yeah. I actually kind of heard some good things back when it came out, so I felt like I should watch it, but then I never did. So maybe it's my fault. But there you go. The Whole Truth with Keanu Reeves and Renee Zellweger looks like truth. Yeah, I have a feeling that he's some kind of lawyer, and that justice is on the line.
It looks like the knockoff of The Judge.
It totally does. Yeah. Yeah, with the American flag in the back and everything. Yeah,
Oh, I just got my text message for that.
Oh, good. Slumber Party Massacre 2 and Slumber Party Massacre 3 in an awesome nope, not what I wanted, Amazon. In an awesome box set. It's a double feature from Scream Factory. The tagline for number 2 is "The party begins when the lights go out." And it's like, it's a couple, it's 3 sexy ladies in their underwear, and then there's a dude in the background with like a frilly leather coat on and an axe, or
No, it's an electric guitar with a drill on the end.
Okay, sure, yeah, that's good too. And then the next one is, I believe, a different set of 3 sexy ladies in their underwear, where a dude is holding a giant drill over his head, and he's like gonna stab at him.
Yep.
With his giant drill.
Sounds like a Slumber Party Massacre.
In the original
2 sequels to a classic, I'm sure.
If You Want is also available from Scream Factory. The dude's legs are spread open, and I think there's 3 women again between his legs, and the drill bit is like where his wiener is.
Sure.
So it's like really suggestive.
Sure. Yeah.
High class.
Criterion is releasing a movie called Fox and His Friends, which I've not heard of. You guys know it?
No.
Okay. Death Race 2050, Roger Corman's sequel to
Death Race
2000, which
40
I've
years
never
in the
seen.
making.
Yeah.
I saw an ad for it pop up on my Instagram, and I'm like, is this real?
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like something that should be happening ever.
The one lady's pretty.
As someone who took the time
it's a Roger
buy
Corman movie.
as someone who took the time to buy Death Race 2000 at a gas station once on Blu-ray, I've never seen this one. Maybe I will check this out. Look at this shirtless dude with his like laser gun, and look at that hair. Oh my goodness, everyone has like a crazy mohawk thing. Oh, what? All right, this might be worth it. And by worth it, I mean complete garbage. Lago di Satana. I think this is a movie where Satan attacks you in Spanish.
And Lago.
Yes, in Lago. Well, it's the Satan of Lago. I think that's what that is. Yeah, I don't know. I just like this cover because there's a lady and she's in bed, and then there's a dude with a scythe. So that might be cool. If you're into that.
It's the Satan, bro.
There's some animated movie called Long Way North that I've never heard of, but I don't know. It's got some style to it. Maybe check that out. The Hollow Point, which is a Western movie that I've never heard of, but it's got Ian McShane in it, so maybe that's cool. And then last, but probably least. Come on. There's an Aaron Paul movie called Come and Find Me that I've never heard of. So
you're going to go and find it.
Wait, it's directed by Zach Whedon, though.
No.
Maybe worth checking out.
Maybe we're checking out.
I don't know. That guy does stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool. All right, that's everything. I should have saved the horror movie for last.
Hey, what's happening in real news?
It's real news.
Not a whole lot. Some casting news, that kind of stuff, but not a whole lot of interesting stuff. The writer of The Exorcist died this week, whose name I don't remember. Zach?
William Peter Blatty.
Yeah. So that's
also directed the third one.
Yep, the Heretic?
The Heretic.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to get a collector's edition of that, it's available through Scream Factory, which is he recorded a commentary for recently. So
cool.
Some people say the work print version is better than the theatrical version.
I've never seen it, and it's one of those Scream Factory collector's editions that I should get because I haven't seen it. But because I haven't seen it, I'm really hesitant to get a $27 Blu-ray. But I mean, a Scream Factory, so the Blu-ray is going to be good.
Yeah.
But it's how well the movie is, because the second Exorcist is garbage.
Yeah.
Which I heard that the third one makes up for it, but I don't know.
I don't love the first one.
I mean, need I remind you,
you
do own Microwave Massacre, so I mean, like, you can't really go.
Yeah, but I got
wrong.
that for $16.99. So
okay, then okay.
And where else
as
am I
long as
gonna-
there's a price difference.
Yes.
Yeah, the only other thing so I saw that Tom Hanks is apparently like circling around the villain role in Tim Burton's Dumbo movie, and the thing I thought was, Tim Burton's making a Dumbo movie?
Yeah.
Ryan, explain to me why everything is terrible.
With Will Smith.
Did you know about this?
Yeah, they announced it maybe a year ago.
Oh, no.
Which
I just heard it was Dumbo. I didn't realize Tim Burton was.
Yeah. Which it worries me because Dumbo really doesn't lend itself to Tim Burton's style. The only thing I could see is if they're like, Tim Burton's directing The Elephants on Parade. segment. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But the whole movie, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure that it's one of those, like, it seems like one of those producer decisions of, guys, there's so much money in Alice in Wonderland movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why don't we have this guy do one of our live-action Disney adaptations?
Which, who knows, maybe he decides he's going to change his style for Dumbo and make it
hey,
like
if he does it like Big Fish or like Big Eyes or, Big Elephant,
Well, I hope...
to complete the big trilogy.
Yeah, complete the big trilogy.
Well, I do hope that he realizes that maybe his aesthetic isn't catching on like it used to.
Yeah.
Like, because his last few movies haven't done well.
Yeah.
And, you got to change sometimes. You got to roll with it. You can still keep what you want, but, change your times.
Well, and it's possible that, with the success that they're having off of these live-action adaptations, that Disney will do, what the Marvel team is doing with their movies, where they sort of, pull in the reins some and make sure that, like, okay, the movie's got to look a certain way. Like, we need it to sort of be cohesive with some of the other stuff we're doing. Not that those movies don't necessarily need to all have the same style, but it would be weird if all of a sudden one of your live-action adaptations looked like Weird Alice in Wonderland, like lots of CG, or lots of bad CG stuff, So maybe it will be good. I don't know. I want to still like Tim Burton. Yeah. Ed Wood's really good.
Yeah, Ed Wood is great.
Yeah.
So is Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and that's about it for me for him.
Batman's good.
Big Fish is great.
I actually like Sweeney Todd a lot.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd is really good too.
It's pretty dark. I mean, it fits his style, but
it does.
But it's still his style works for that, I guess.
It has other stuff going for it.
Yeah. At least the story there. And I had never really known Sweeney Todd before, so when I got to see that the first time, it was actually pretty fun for me. So. He gets extra points for me for actually being a well-made story. So, whereas the rest of his garbage tends to be not great. But we'll see.
For big news for James Gunn fans like me, Slither is getting a Scream Factory Collector's Edition.
Oh, really?
Which I predicted earlier last year when they got the Universal catalog.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, man, they should really that deserves like a Scream Factory collector's edition. And so even James Gunn is really excited about it, which is cool because he already puts a lot of work into his Blu-rays and stuff, so that means he'll probably be involved. So that makes me excited. And they released the date and the price for Nintendo Switch and a bunch of games. And the Mario game gets me really, really excited because I think it's way different. And I love the idea of playing as Mario in New York City, like real New York City.
New Donk City.
New Donk City.
And I mean, it's just cool because the one thing I always love about Nintendo is they take innovation with their games, their first-party games, and their systems, and they try to push the video game world. And watching it where you can control Mario's hat, and it helps him reach farther places, and his hat's alive, I think it's fun.
It weirded me out when his hat got eyes.
Really? I think it's cool.
When the eyes popped up, I was like, no! Not okay.
I like the idea of it, like using it as an extra platform when you don't have one.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Miyamoto said that this game is like for core players. It's not. Well, I think 3D World is maybe the best Mario game in a really long time.
Yeah. That game was cool.
I think it's cool that they're going like, oh, they're going to make a hard Mario game, and kind of go back to the exploration of the earlier 3D ones.
Yeah.
More open world, and then the new Zelda game. Looks stunning, and there's a great on IGN. They have a great graphics comparison from the Wii U to the Switch.
Yeah,
and it's pretty substantial.
Cool.
And so it's March 9th?
March 3rd.
It's the first time like watching that press conference when it was over. It was the first time I've ever felt like, dude, I could get a Nintendo console. Like this seems cool.
No, it's
like,
really
I kind of
cool.
want one of these.
Should probably let people know there's 3 versions of Zelda that are coming out.
Yeah.
So you can pre-order the Master Edition, which has like a cloth map, a medallion, a carrying case for the Switch. That's like the chic design.
Oh, sure.
And then what's the other thing? Oh yeah, it's the Master
statue,
Sword.
yeah.
And then there's the special edition is just like the game in a different box, and then everything but the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then there's just the game version.
Cool.
And then so the other launch title is the new Mario Kart 8, but Deluxe Edition. So it has a bunch of new characters and tracks, and I think it's fun. And I think for a Nintendo system to be successful, everyone is talking about the third-party stuff. I actually think they need to be more consistent with their first-party stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, it's part of what's great about this is that instead of having their first-party stuff split between a mobile device and an actual console, then they can just be good at putting all that stuff on one console that makes the console worth it. Whereas I think especially with the Wii U, like I think a lot of people started feeling like, well, wait a second, I actually only own this thing for the 3 or 4 Nintendo games that I care about. And then what was it for? Like I don't actually get to play anything else on it.
Well, yeah, no,
so
I mean, I
at
agree.
least now all of your games will be on that console.
Because I have Rayman for Wii U, and that's actually what made me buy the Wii U.
Yeah,
is because I wasn't really sold on the Wii U when I first saw it released. I'm like, oh, I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it for a long time. But then when they released I think Wind Waker is the best Legend of Zelda game. But when they released Wind Waker HD, I bought it, the Wind Waker version, and I got Rayman with it. And I think Rayman's maybe one of the greatest platformers that people know about but don't spend enough time talking about. And that I saw the Switch has a Rayman game coming out makes me really excited.
Oh, hell yeah. Now I'm in.
Yeah. So it's cool. I think, because Nintendo is always going to be looked at as because people that like PlayStation and Xbox think Nintendo's passed them by or they've been passed by. And I think
they're just in a different niche.
Yeah, and I think Nintendo hands down makes the best first-party games.
Those controllers are expensive, though.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean they're pretty special, so
yeah.
I mean, what's a new PlayStation 4 controller? I think $65.
If I buy that thing and when I snap in the Joy-Cons, it doesn't make that snap sound in real life, I'm taking it back. Taking it back.
Did you order just the gray one, Brad? Or did you get the fluorescent?
I got the gray. Yeah, the fluorescent's too wild for me. Yeah.
I might run down and pre-order it today.
Which one are you gonna get?
I wasn't going to. I was like, man, because I get back from vacation like 2 weeks before it comes out, so I won't have that much money.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I can put it on my Best Buy card.
Yeah. It only charges when you pick it up.
Yep.
So.
And by then, maybe I'll have it paid off.
You don't want to fall into an NES Classic situation.
Yeah. Which I think...
Which they're still not out there.
I know.
No, but
the dude at Target, at my nearby Target, I happened to go in, I don't know, it was like a week ago, and they said, I went to this section, and they said, NES Classics are behind the counter, so you need to ask for it. I was like, oh, sweet. So I go up there, and he's like, no, man, we sold out. He said people at midnight wait in line. And the only bummer is it's people that want to resell them. There's no way people want that bad.
Yeah.
Besides us hardcore gamers.
Well, there was. It seems like there was also kind of a shortage of them. Like there weren't as many as there should have been.
Nintendo does it all the time. They did with the Amiibos.
Right. But they also just this week figured out how to crack them so you can put, because there's a USB thing on there that actually takes data, which means it was really easy to crack the thing, and then now you can like double the amount of games on there. Because the way they built it, they didn't build it so that you could put more games on it over time. So nobody was sure, like, are you going to sell a Nintendo Classic 2 with like the games that you couldn't get on the first one or what, But at least now, if you buy one, you could theoretically crack it and then put some of the games that you wanted that are missing on there.
And personally, I don't think $60 is that outrageous for that.
Oh no,
thing. And I was reading that they've actually registered for a Super Nintendo version. So
cool. Oh, I'm sure they.
So I'm sure that's the next one coming out.
Yeah, they have to have made a bunch of money on that thing.
Oh yeah.
If they go make a bunch more of them so that they're still out there, then yeah, it'll
down.
be gangbusters. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And this is the stuff we've been watching.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
I'm going to start because I don't care.
Okay.
I don't think I ever start on this one. Actually, because me and Brad saw the same movie, so I'll segue into it.
Oh, cool.
I only saw 2 other things this week. So every once in a while you read about, because I watch so many horror films. There's this one called Deathgasm, which is about a heavy metal band that uses heavy metal to actually summon demons. And I heard like funny things about it. I heard it was the New Zealand version of Evil Dead. And I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And Laura said she wanted to watch it. I was like, all right. And it started with controversy when the Blu-ray came out. Walmart wouldn't sell it unless they changed the box art because it had a pentagram on it. And so they had to change it just for Walmart. But anyways, so the story is about these kids who are at a metal band in high school, and they find one of the heavy metal dudes, like New Zealand's like premier heavy metal guy, and he gives them these pages, and these pages, when he plays them, like summons demons, and he accidentally plays it too much, and then the demons overtake the town, and it's super violent, and it's actually pretty funny. So it is it's like a gory, gooey comedy where the violence is so over the top, it's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it uses practical effects, so it looks really cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it except it's like over the top, gory, gooey, silly fun.
Yeah.
The kids are really funny in it. I mean, they use like dildos to like fight the demons at some parts, and it's the kids, like his aunt and uncle who take him in because he's an orphan, and so his aunt and uncle are these big churchgoers, and so they go into their bedroom when they're possessed, and they're like, "We need to fight him," and they grab this box that says church stuff, and it's just full of like porn and dildos and stuff, and that's pretty funny.
Cool.
Yeah. You guys all right today? You all just sit there like, is everyone like tired? What's going on?
Oh, probably,
It is
yes.
foggy outside. So
It is foggy.
It's one of those days.
This is one of those days.
I also watched Batman: Return of the Cape Crusaders.
Which one is that?
It's the DC animation Batman 66 cartoon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And,
I talked about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like I had a lot of fun watching it. One of my biggest worries was Burt Ward and Julie Newmar, because they're so much older now. Where I mean, Adam West is too, but Adam West has been doing voice work so long that I wasn't that worried about
He still kind of
him.
sounds like Adam West. Yeah.
And, actually Burt Ward was really funny in it. I mean, Adam West knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
And Julie Newmar is pretty good.
Cool.
It fits right in with, like, the 1966 style. It's the most fun I've had watching Batman in a long time. Because so much Batman's been dour lately. It's kind of nice to see it, like, have a light tone. And, I mean, it's utterly ridiculous what happens in it. So the story is the villains all team up and they have a duplicate ray, and Batman uses the duplicate ray to duplicate himself. So the whole town's ran by Batman or Batmen.
Yeah.
And he relieves Commissioner Gordon and the chief of police of their duties, and he makes them like strip down to their underwear to take off their uniforms.
Wow.
Because their uniform is like suits.
That's funny.
It's really funny. Stuff like that. And I laughed at one of the POWs in it. Batman hit some guy. I think it was the Penguin, and it went spork. I'm like, that's funny. So little things like that, just and the whole aesthetic of the film. I mean, it was animated really well, and it got the feel of it proper. And I liked it. And Robin always had like the what did Batman have? The antidote spray. So when they gave him the antidote, it didn't work because he already took the antidote spray.
Yep.
It's funny. So hats off to those guys, and it was fun. And then me and Brad this week were able to catch an advanced screening of Live by Night, the new Ben Affleck gangster movie.
Very cool.
Shot really well. I think it looked really pretty. I actually thought the movie was pretty good.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's kind of everything you've seen in gangster movies before, where it's just like a revenge tale. Ben Affleck's character at the beginning is a gangster, and his dad is Brendan Gleeson, who's really great in it. Is he a
chief of police or something?
Chief of police, lieutenant of police, something like that. And so they're at odds, and it's kind of a cool story. I love the jail in it is the jail from I think Batman Begins.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah. I recognize like the courtyard. And so I mean, Affleck's great in it, and it's violent.
Yeah.
Chris Cooper's really good in it. Elle Fanning's really good in it.
I actually thought Chris Cooper, when he finds the pictures of his daughter, like, I don't know. I'm not a practiced actor, but it just didn't sell to me.
No.
It felt like he didn't know what to do in that scene.
So what do you think of it, Brad? I mean, it's a sort of he's a bootlegger out of Florida is basically the story.
Yeah. It felt long to me, even though it was only like 2 hours. It felt like 3.
Really?
And there were it had these weird diversions where it felt like Ben Affleck had something personal to say. Like I haven't read the book, so I don't know if it's in the book or not. But like it's like he'd have he'd be having a conversation with some rival company or gangster or something, and then they'd make a statement about racism or a statement about like equality or a statement about religion at some point. It just like touches on all these many different like that aren't about the bootlegging, like all of a sudden. So
he's kind of like an amoral gangster. Like, I mean, he has
a complicated morality.
Complicated morality. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't
okay.
like how African Americans are being treated in the South, so he kind of makes it his personal vendetta against the KKK. And even though I thought those scenes with the KKK dude were pretty cool,
Yeah. It's got some fun humor, like when he gets shot by his own guy.
yeah,
It's like, did you shoot me? Like, no, I was shooting that way. No, I'm pretty sure you.
yeah, you shot me. There's no way he got off a shot. It does have weird, funny humor in it.
But he gets shot like 3 times, and he comes out pretty unscathed throughout the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure back then, like, you're worried about infection. And, yeah.
But there is some. I think my favorite scene is when he was. We're kind of at the middle of the movie where he went down to Florida and was trying to squeeze the Italian. No, the Irish mafia was he trying to screw over
When he goes down to
Yeah, I can't remember. No, it was Italian guys. He goes down.
He's working for the Italian
Yeah,
guys.
he's working for the. I don't remember. Anyways, he goes down there.
It's whoever's running the club, right?
Yeah, that's right.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the movie.
Yeah, a lot.
The ending's badass, though.
Yeah,
that
the
final
ending's
fight.
badass. But I love the scene where he goes to the cigar thing and he's talking to the cigar manager who's a part of the KKK.
Oh, yeah.
And he's trying to get to the KKK guy who is throwing like firebombs into his clubs because he allows like black people and stuff in it. And so he talks to him, and the guy says, "Well, that's way above your pay grade." He says, "Wait a minute, why am I wasting time talking to some fucker like you?" And they just like blow his head off. I'm like, "Oh shit, shit got real."
Yeah, he's talking about like, yeah, we've got KKK people in the police,
Yeah.
and the hospitality and public works. Like, we're all over the place, man. He's like, well, then why am I talking to you?
And he shoots him
You're
in
not
the
the head guy.
And they shoot him in the head.
Yeah. Is it based on a real person?
I think it is. It might be. I don't know.
It's a Dennis Lehane novel.
Yeah.
So I think it's.
So it's probably based on theoretically true-ish things, but not necessarily a real guy.
A conglomerate of ideas.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's Ben Affleck saw a Dennis Lehane novel and went, "I bet I can get an Oscar." Like, here we go. Maybe that's why.
There's also like a multiple ending thing going on, which I was like, this is like too many.
Yeah.
Like after the big fight, I'll say there's like 2 other or 3 resolutions, but then he goes to the theater with his son, and then did they set up his brother at all in the movie? I don't remember that.
Remember, he kept on saying his brother's out in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, that's like another like superfluous thing to this story,
huh?
Because they're watching this Western, and his brother's name comes up on the screen, and I obviously didn't catch the setup that Ryan did, but I'm just like, why is he pointing out that his brother's
he even says it to Elle Fanning when she's about to leave to go to L.A.
Oh, I kind of started to get a little sleepy at that point. So,
but yeah, I mean, I liked it. I mean, I thought it was a good movie, but it's not. I don't know. It's not his best.
Yeah,
but not because it's not well made, but
I don't know if I'd like rush out to see it again.
Yeah. A trailer for the new Triple X was just on your TV a second ago. I did not know that Ice Cube was in that movie.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It means that it's like it believes that Triple X State of Play is like a real sequel.
I think it's State of Union, isn't it?
Whatever.
State of the Union.
State of Play is the Ben Affleck movie. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I was surprised.
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to see a gangster movie, I don't think it's not bad.
Okay.
It's just.
Which I do.
Yeah, I mean, you probably like it. I mean,
Yeah.
like I did not like it. I actually had fun watching it, but
Cool.
I mean, it just follows a lot of tropes. And,
Yeah, it ends up being one of those like, oh yeah, gangster movies. I've seen these.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we hit all the things on the checklist
Yeah.
Yeah.
for gangster movie.
But do they drive a Packard around and have Tommy guns?
Actually, when they're doing the car chase and the police are just firing wildly like at the cars to catch them, and just disregarding all the pedestrians they're like walking around.
Hey, it was a
There's some
different
shitty
time,
cops.
man. They didn't have the same rules.
Kill everybody to get your target.
I do remember kind of at the beginning when they're setting up the premise of the movie where the rival mafia guys were fighting over liquor and stuff, and they're killing people in brutal ways. The audience was like, "Oh, whoa!"
Oh, yeah, our
weren't
audience,
ready
man.
for what kind of violence was happening in this film.
The people like next to me gasped every time like someone like surprised the audience with a gun.
Yeah, because
Like, even if they weren't firing it, if they just pull it out of their pocket and you didn't see it coming,
Yeah.
you're like,
I mean, there is a shot where Affleck really makes you follow a dude thrown off a building until he hits the ground.
Oh wow.
So I mean, there's some pretty cool. Well, the coolest shot is when he takes the camera and follows a dude who gets knocked down a flight of stairs and he gets shot with a Tommy gun on the way down. So
I'm not sure he's gonna die. Better make sure.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I take back what I said to James in the car. This sounds like something I really want to see.
What's rule number 27? Double tap.
Oh yeah, there's zombies in this movie.
That is
Oh yes,
Zombieland.
right. Yeah.
Zombieland was a thing.
And that's what I watched this week. Brad, what else did you watch?
I watched a few things in addition to that. I rewatched. I think Netflix knew that Hidden Figures was our movie this week, so they served me Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which I have on DVD, but I'm still like, it's already on the screen.
I have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I think.
And that's cool. That's it's
I've actually never seen that one. Should I check it out?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably my favorite. Well, the Disney Robin Hood's pretty good, but as far as a live action one, like,
sure. I mean, people make fun of Costner's accent in it, but I mean, it's still pretty cool action and stuff. I mean, it's fun.
Cool.
Cool.
And Alan Rickman's great in it. The weird witch,
if you've
Morgana
seen Robin Hood Men in Tights, just
it's the real version.
Just think of that.
Yeah,
but
right.
It's
sure.
not as like zany. Unlike most Robins, I can speak with an English accent. Oh, he's good. He's good.
I love that gag where it's like it's an odd name, latrine. Yeah, used to be shafts.
I gave Kickboxer Vengeance another chance.
No.
I was like,
did it redeem itself?
What's wrong
No.
with you?
It's still pretty weak. Obviously, I can't notice the sound issues as much coming out of my stereo TV. But,
oh yeah, because you saw it in theaters and had a bunch of
Yeah.
issues, didn't you? Yeah, I remember.
I was
that.
like, that doesn't sound like Jean-Claude Van Damme's voice stubbed in there, but yeah, I couldn't really tell as much in this one. But yeah, it's just so like all over the place. The motivation's weird.
Yeah,
action's not that interesting.
Yeah.
I also watched the Around the World in 80 Days, the Jackie Chan version.
Hell yeah, that movie's okay.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger
That's
as
right.
like some foreign prince.
It
or
has a
something.
bunch of wives.
Yeah.
A bunch of wives. Like, yeah, I'm.
Yeah.
It's one of those I saw in the mid 2000s, and I was like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
the thing I did.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's held up. It's like a big cartoon. Like at one point, Jackie Chan has a jetpack and he slams into a light pole, and the pole is like dented in his shape.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just globetrot, and they have
like-
to get away from what's his name.
We talked about last week.
Broadbent.
There was that period of time where like he was super popular, and it was sort of near the end, and so he was making a bunch of movies, but they were only okay. You know, so you had like the Tuxedo and the Medallion, and like they're fun, but they're not like Rush Hour awesome.
Yeah,
you know,
or Rumble in the Bronx. Or,
yeah, it's like there's just when there are so many that are amazing, you get that little stretch of films where you're like, these are okay. But at least that one does have a good sense of humor. Like it's trying to be something a little different.
Yeah, and the CGI for like these animated maps they have is like so dated.
Yes,
like they're really like sugary looking and
yeah,
not realistic. Like when you look at the Disney opening of like the Magic Kingdom and all the trains and everything, and then you look at the stuff in there, like yeah. I also watched the King Arthur. From the mid, like with Keira Knightley.
The one with Keira Knightley? Yeah.
Which
where they like
seen
fight
since
on the
theater.
ice at the end or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that since the theater. It's kind of bland.
Yeah.
She didn't show up until like an hour into the movie. Her whole storyline.
Well, it is
thing.
called King Arthur, and she's not King Arthur.
Yeah, but like they feature on the poster like she's super important to the story.
No, she just has boobs and was popular at the
Yeah,
time.
she
Like
fights
they
at
were.
the end.
Does she have boobs?
On the poster, she does. That's not a joke. I remember reading an article about how like she was really pissed off when she saw the poster because like they had given her like a C cup and she's like, who do you think I am? Like, come on. Anyway.
But yeah, there's like what's his name? The scientist from Thor and everything.
Oh, Peter Skarsgård.
Peter?
Stellan Skarsgård. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the main villain in it, and like he just kind of like lumbers around and like acts evil. And then there's a whole bunch of people like that weren't big at the time, but like Mads Mikkelsen's one of like Arthur's knights.
Oh, that's cool.
Mac from Indiana Jones. What's his name?
Mac?
Yeah, his sidekick in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal
Oh,
Skull.
yeah.
The British guy.
Ray Winston.
Ray Winstone. Yeah.
He's in there. The Punisher, Ray Livingstone.
Mm-hmm.
He's in there. Stevenson.
Stevenson,
Yeah.
Ron
He's in there.
Livingston also
Yeah.
there.
So like, and what's his name? Mr. Fantastic.
Yoan
Gooford.
Yeah.
Yoan Gooford.
So you got the Punisher. You've got
Ian Gooford.
what's the Fantastic Four? What's his actual character's name?
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards. So you got Reed Richards in there. You got the Punisher in there.
Oh yeah.
You
So
got
was the
the
Avengers before
villain
the
from Thor in
Avengers.
there. There's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
Marvel stuff in that movie.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And Hannibal.
Yeah. The villain
Yeah.
from. Oh wait, did I say Thor? I meant Doctor Strange.
No. Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, he's also in Doctor Strange. Yes. Yeah. Well, and not the villain from Thor, but the scientist from Thor.
And the scientist from.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's
All
a big
kinds of
Marvel movie.
It's a big Marvel movie. Yeah. King Arthur. Marvel.
But yeah, they're just trying to. They're like just trying to do their like last mission so they can get freedom or something. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. It seemed like one of those like, we're gonna tell the real story of King Arthur, and I watched it and went, I think you made all this up.
Yeah. Merlin's just some like weirdo in the woods with
Yeah.
no magic. And then I also watched the Legend of Bagger Vance.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen.
You never seen it?
No, that's okay.
That movie's great.
It's a bunch of people playing golf.
Yeah, but Jack Lemmon dies.
He doesn't die. He has a heart attack and
no,
lives through it.
No, he's dead at the end of the movie.
He walks away.
Yeah, he's in heaven
Oh my god.
because heaven is a golf course.
Oh my. Okay.
Come on now. Read
It should be the
movie.
legend of whatever Matt Damon's character is, because Will Smith just like whispers in his ear a bunch and that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's not a legend. he doesn't. He gets $5. I was like, that's the only credit he gets for like helping that game.
But Bagger Vance is like an angel. Bagger Vance is not a real human being. He's like an angel.
But people
which is why
who,
Jack
other
Lemmon
than Matt
does-
Damon, talk to him in that movie.
Yeah, well, he's not like an imaginary angel. He's not invisible. He comes out of he's yeah. It's a good movie. That movie's pretty solid. There's that scene where his son is pissed off because his dad sweeps streets, and he's like, "Ah!" And then Matt Damon sits him down. And is like, "You're an asshole." And it's a great
he
scene.
paid back all his creditors.
Yeah. Everybody else was a shit heel, and your dad's great, and you're a dick. Like, it's a good scene. That's a good movie.
I actually watched it twice because the first time I was like, I don't think I watched anything, and then I watched it again. I was like, yep.
Oh, that's not fair. That movie's good.
It's like he's either gonna sink it or he's gonna miss it.
Yeah, that's golf.
Yeah.
But it's about life. And also dying and going to heaven.
And having PTSD.
Yes, it's a lot about PTSD.
And that so much that it affects your golf game.
Yes. Yeah.
And your relationship with
But an angel can fix it.
Furiosa.
Yes. Actually, it is a pretty like obvious magic excuse my French, but magic Negro movie. Which should be more offensive.
That is very offensive.
No, that is an actual term for that like pretty offensive thing that people do in movies where they go get like Miss what is it, Clue or Cleo from the
Miss
Matrix
Cleo?
movie? Yeah. Like there's always like
Matrix.
this joyful, life-loving black person who comes in and fixes everything, and they're magical. And it's an old motif that's really pretty bad, but.
Directed by
movie's
Robert
good.
Redford.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a good movie.
And the last awesome thing that I saw was a documentary called Rats.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's made by Morgan Spurlock.
Oh, is that the documentary that we were supposed to see at the Esquire that one time?
Might have been.
Does he eat rats for 30 days?
Yes. And he gets really sick and almost dies. No, it's just about like I feel like a documentary should be both-sided, but this one's heavily like on the side of rats are a disease and a plague and they should be exterminated. So it starts off with this guy in New York, and they interview him. And there's some great cinematography in it with like, but I feel like some of it had to be set up with like trained rats to get it to do. But anyway, the exterminator's talking about like how resilient they are and like how they adapt really well. And he's done it for 40 years and has tried every method in the books, and he still hasn't beaten them. But he's really smart on like how they function and how to kill them. But like as soon as you find something successful, like it's quickly like they learn and they sacrifice their own to test things, and They're very organized, and it's the level of violence in this movie is like I felt so bad for the rats. Like they go to several different cities to see like how cultures deal with like an infestation of rats. So the first one's New York City, and they're like walking down the street. The safety council is like doing this night pass through. And it doesn't matter if like you have an upscale restaurant or like a shitty fast food restaurant somewhere, like because in New York they put all their garbage out in the streets overnight. Like they don't have dumpsters, so you can walk by and kick a stack of trash bags and like 100 rats will scurry out of it back into the sewers. And then like they go to India, and like some people collect them from their like rice fields and then sell them to another guy who stacks them on a motorbike, and then sells them to another guy who sells them to a restaurant in
He stacks
Taiwan.
rats on a motorbike?
Well, the cage full of rats.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like circus rats. I got 10 rats riding on top of a motorbike.
No, so he sells them to this like lady who has a restaurant in Taiwan, and like on camera, they pull them out of the bag, stuff them in another sack, drown them in like a Home Depot bucket, and then press another bucket to squish it down underwater to hold them under. And then she pulls out the bag, empties it, like one of them's half breathing. And just pulls out a meat cleaver and just starts chopping its arms and legs off. And then, like, you can see its little nose twitching, cuts off its face.
Oh, my God.
Starts grilling it.
She is intending to eat it.
Yeah, like it's a delicacy at the restaurant.
Why doesn't she just, like, chop its head off first? Why not? Why does she try to drown it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a special
more
brine.
humane. Huh?
Oh, yeah, she's brining it. Yeah. Like, it's a salt water. It makes the hair come off easier.
No, I'm sure it was just to suffocate them. So that was horrible to watch. They also go to like Katrina in Louisiana, because obviously they're looking for like disease mutations and things. They trap a bunch of rats in a swamp, come back. They do the cotton ball thing to put them to sleep.
Oh yeah,
like they did the frogs in E.T.
Yeah.
And then they start like gutting them on camera, like pulling out their lungs, and like then they like pull out their liver and dissect it, and there's like these little parasitic worms getting pulled out, and they stuff them into like little vials for sampling. They go to England, and there's an exterminator who uses dogs to catch them.
Yeah.
And so they stick all these dogs after these rats in this one hill. He's got like 20 terriers, and they can't find any until someone with a shovel like breaks open this mound, and then all these rats start scurrying out, and then you watch these terriers like rip these rats apart with their teeth. And
sweet,
like there's 2 terriers on one rat, and they like won't give in to each other, and like the exterminator has to like step on the rat and like smack the dog in the face to like let it go.
Wow.
And he's like, this is the most humane way to do it. And then they cut to like footage of some English lady like dangling a dead rat by its tail and like laughing. It's like this doesn't seem that humane. And they're all lined up on the hood of his car.
Oh wow.
Just like I feel, I get it. They're a danger to health and everything, but still like humanely, like
yeah.
But the New York exterminator talks about like having like using poison. Eventually, they become immune to the poisons that they create. And if they use traps, they just send out the weakest ones to test everything. And if they get snapped, or if they use poison food or something, they'll piss on the poison food to let the other rats know not to touch it. But the last thing is there's this shrine in India, and you see all these people praying, and then like open the doors to this other room, and it's just like infested, like thousands of rats, and they're welcome there. And so these people are like letting rats like climb on them. They have like bowls of milk that the like rats are drinking out of, and then this one dude just like reaches into his hand, like cups a little thing of milk, and then drinks it himself. He's like, see, it's fine. Like they're our family, and your family doesn't like infect you and stuff. And yeah, there's like little rat carvings, like wood rat carvings on the door. So it's like it's a rat temple.
Yeah, and then they put that guy in a box with a little cotton knob thing, and they open up his liver, and they pull out a giant snake parasite worm. And
oh god, yeah. There's one rat that had some like it's like a bowfly or something. I forget what it's called, but like it just burrows its eggs under your skin, and then they hatch and like burst out, like chest burster. So this one rat had it, and like they gave it the cotton ball thing, but when they were like dissecting it, they found like the hatchling hadn't come out yet. And it's just like this black slug that was like shifting and like expanding and contracting. And they stuffed it in a vial. Like the vial was too small for it.
I hate all of this.
Yeah. And the last one was like, I think they were in Indonesia, and there's just like like a street gang with machetes that just goes around. Like the streets are just filled with garbage, so they're just kind of like kicking cans and like trying to uncover rats, and like just brutally they would pick up a rat and like stretch its spine out, like hold its head and just pull its tail and like snap its spine. Awful. But they get paid. Like that's how they make their money, is like they make like $10 a night, like, or $10 a rat or something.
Yeah.
Just to go through the back streets and find as many as they can. Like that's their living. No, they have an extreme prejudice towards them.
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting. So would you recommend it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's
if you know what you're getting into.
Like, if you want to see a lot of like violence against rats, and
I kind of do now.
Good cinematography and just like the extent of which the like rat plague is.
Yeah.
In New York, they also do like one of those like sewer cameras. So there's like a grate on the sidewalk, and they start like dropping this like tiny camera down the hole, and it's like concrete like cracks, like where just pieces of concrete meet up to each other, and all of a sudden like these glowing eyes start appearing. There's like 20 to 100 of them staring back. Like they're that far away from humanity. Like they're just waiting. Yeah, and they're so smart that like they say like apartments in New York, like they'll hang out until you leave. Like once they hear that door click, like you've locked the door, like they know it's time, it's okay to come in.
Wow.
And they'll rummage through all your shit and then leave before you come back.
Wow.
Yeah, they're super smart.
So cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, hard to watch the murder, the slaughter of all those rats, but insightful for sure.
Yeah,
and that's all I watched.
Cool.
Zach?
Watched a couple things. One of them was Not Rats.
How is that one? Is that about
Not Rats?
Yeah.
Was great because I didn't have to watch Rats.
Yeah.
I just
yeah, he's out. He's like, I saw a rat. I am leaving.
I saw La La Land in IMAX with Brad.
Oh, cool.
I actually thought that it looked well. I mean, it looked fine. But I actually liked the spectacle of everything in IMAX because it was shot in true CinemaScope.
Yeah.
So the way that Damien Chazelle, where he has the camera placed for all those musical sequences, it actually benefits you to see it on the biggest screen possible.
Mm-hmm. That's not yours.
Mountain Dew.
He just went all the way to his car for that Crystal Pepsi. You're not allowed to steal it.
I don't know. I thought he was giving it to me because he put it right in front of me.
That's true.
I have no more room.
So that was fun. Sadly, we did not get the cool exclusive posters.
Yeah, that was some shit.
Yeah, that was some real shit.
What, is it sold out?
No,
they just didn't have it.
They just didn't have
Where'd
them
you
there.
see that?
Oh.
The AMC Highlands Ranch.
24.
Oh.
It wasn't
Maybe
just
it's
a poster either. It was supposed to be sheet music for one of the songs.
Really?
Maybe it's only at like the real IMAXs, you know?
I think it's like,
well, no, the Colorado Mills is one though, isn't it?
No,
it's not. Yeah.
Well, it was only playing at ours and the Westminster one. So.
Oh, so it wasn't at the one down off of the Dave & Buster's one?
Yeah, Collar Boulevard one, or Mills didn't have it. But
wow.
So I saw that. Saw the Alex Gibney documentary, Sinatra, All or Nothing at All. It's 4 hours of interview clips and stuff like that telling Sinatra's life. It's really good. It's very extensive.
Cool.
They just spell a lot of his gangland ties pretty quickly in the first hour of the film.
Yeah.
But you still want to believe that Sinatra was part of the mob. And I also watched Beauty and the Beast on Blu-ray.
The cartoon?
Yeah, because the great thing about working in a thrift shop, guys, rich people just throw their shit away.
you got the did you get the new one or the
Diamond Edition?
See, that one's awesome because it has tons of special features.
Yeah, I know, and I got it for $3.99.
I'd buy it too.
Gross.
So I watched it again, and is it my imagination or is Spencer Kane the real life version of Gaston?
He could be.
Think about it for like 1 second, knowing who he is.
Does he eat a dozen eggs in one meal? I don't know.
He said, I texted him as I was watching the movie. I'm like, is it safe to say that you're the real life version of Gaston? And he just said, like, yes, and not just because I use antlers in my decorating.
Is Spencer entitled to women he likes?
Maybe we should move on before Spencer listens to this.
He'll just listen to it and just be happy about it. But seriously, the movie looks beautiful on Blu-ray. The Be Our Guest, as you were saying before, probably one of the greatest animated sequences of all time. So, and also the ballroom sequence, which gave me a little, choked me up a little bit.
Yeah, a little more simple, but that's still elegant.
Yeah, absolutely. And the final battle between Gaston and Beast in Blu-ray looked like it
Beast
was
has
clear.
a real name.
Yeah, Dan Stevens.
Dan Stevens.
What is his name in that? I forget.
I don't know.
Prince Beast?
Yeah, Prince.
Prince Beast. Okay, so Prince Beast, the fight between him and Gaston, the rain and the way the lightning's striking and whatnot, it just looks beautiful in HD. Like, I don't know why I've never noticed it before.
Yeah, it's good.
But it just looks fantastic.
Yeah, HD does wonders for hand-drawn animation.
I agree. And then last thing that I saw was I went to go see High Sierra at the Alamo for the Nasty Woman series. And I got to see it on a 35mm print, so it was really, really fun for me. Like, to watch a traditional gangster movie in its original format was fun. Not saying that you need that format, but it was a nice little bonus. Yeah, it was a nice little bonus. So if anybody's never seen High Sierra, it's about a bank robber who gets put out on parole and tries to pull off one more heist. And at the same time, he befriends a club-footed girl that he starts having feelings for, and he pays for a surgery to get her leg fixed. But guys, she doesn't love him.
Oh.
And when you don't love Bogey, he goes mad. He goes Mad Dog 2020. So it was really great, and I would encourage people who are in the Denver area to go to this Nasty Woman film series, because it's all about Ida Lupino, and she was actually a director, not just an actress.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is, if you already went to the High Sierra one, and you go to the other three, if you collect all 4 buttons that they hand out there, you get a T-shirt of Ida Lupino holding a 35mm camera from the Alamo Drafthouse.
That's cool.
So yeah, it was really cool. And Steve did an introduction to the film, and he did a really good introduction. And one of the benefits of this screening is that all the proceeds go to Planned Parenthood.
Oh,
so
good.
it actually goes to a good cause.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I watched this week.
Cool.
James?
I actually don't really have much. It was kind of a quiet week, so I don't actually think I have anything.
All right, fine, James. And
sorry,
you're not really contributing to the podcast either. You're worthless this week.
Yep.
This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw Hidden Figures. Brad, should people see Hidden Figures?
Yeah, it's a little hard. The ending they manufacture like suspense, but it's hard to like feel suspense when you know how historically it's going to end. Like,
yeah.
But I feel like it has a couple weak points, but overall it's a very like emotional, satisfying movie.
Zach?
Yeah, I felt that it was a very solidly acted piece. It's an actor's movie first and foremost, and I really enjoyed the story and just like things I didn't know anything about when it came to the NASA story of how we got people up into space. It was interesting to learn a little bit, even if it was dramatized. So yeah,
that was the end of it. You stopped like mid-sentence.
I thought that was the end of a sentence.
Punctuation.
Sorry. Period.
Thank you. James?
Yeah, I mean, if this is your first podcast, then I'll warn you that I have a terrible bias and am extremely romantic about the space program, so I started crying when the movie started and didn't stop until 2.5 hours later when it was over.
I wish I was in that theater just being like, guy's ruining the movie. You won't stop blubbering.
No. Quiet, lone Indian tears, you know? Like, why are they ruining my Earth? Those kind of tears. Like, just single tears. Just every, 4 minutes. Just one more comes down. Just a constant river of sad coming out of my face. Anyway, I think the movie's beautiful. I think they really tell a wonderful story, and for me, I think it is a cool, different angle on a section of the space program that, if you pair this with From the Earth to the Moon and Apollo 13 and The Right Stuff and some of those other movies, this gives you a different angle on not just like these women and the role they played, but also in what it was like to actually do. To actually put people in space, right? Often we get the story of the astronauts and their bravery. This is like, guys, it was really hard to do math then, and we put someone into space and then onto the moon. And so I think that alone makes it a really fascinating story. And it's even made better by the fact that there's a really great emotional character drama along with it. So, yeah, for sure, people should go see it.
Yeah, I agree with everything James said.
But not with what I said? Thanks.
Yeah.
The fuck, bro?
I just said more because I always talk too much.
Yep. When we ever do space movies, James just... I say, hey, James, should people see the movie? And then you just got to sit back for like 5 minutes.
Just wait till I talk to you about Gus Grissom and how he died. We'll get there.
Yeah. So, the movie's great. And it's always fun to see, I'll call it the unsexy side of NASA, where it's, the numbers. It's not, James said
paperwork.
it. The astronauts, trying to figure out how to...
So many calculations.
Yeah, just the astronauts trying to figure out how to get through space and stuff. So it's fun. And I thought all the lead actresses were wonderful in it. And yeah, so you should see this movie. Here's a trailer for Hidden Figures.
Equilateral, isosceles, tetrahedron.
I've never seen a mind like the one your daughter has. You have to see what she becomes.
Come on! Move like that.
Catherine! We all gonna end up unemployed riding around in this pile of junk.
You're welcome to walk the 16 miles. Or sit in the back of the bus.
Kiss me up!
You have identification number?
We're just on our way to work at NASA, sir.
I had no idea they hired.
There are quite a few women working in the space program.
You know what we're doing here? We're putting a human on top of a missile, shooting him into space. That's never been done before. I need a mathematician that can look beyond the numbers. Math that doesn't yet exist.
You have someone?
Running what I'm playing.
Catherine's the gal for that. She can handle any numbers you put in front of her.
You're a computer at NASA. They let women handle that sort of...
Yes, they let women do some things at NASA, Mr. Johnson. And it's not because we wear skirts. It's because we wear glasses.
You've been gone for 300 hours.
Was Mama gone for 12 and a half days?
No, but it felt like it.
In 14 days, astronauts will be here for training. Everything we do can matter to their wives, to their children. I believe it's going to matter to the whole country.
My gals are ready.
There's no protocol for women attending.
There's no protocol for a man circling the Earth either, sir.
We all get there together, we don't get there at all.
Let me ask you, if you were a white male, would you wish to be an engineer?
I wouldn't have to. I'd already be one.
Don't you know that we're able?
Isn't it cool that Kevin Costner destroys racism with the power of a crowbar?
Yeah, it is. Man.
You're in NASA with P the same color.
People in my theater clapped. Like
yeah,
that.
Mine too.
Oh, mine too. Yeah.
Nobody in my theater clapped.
People like I got applause at the end. There was like there were cheers when she gives her like "you don't even touch my coffee pot" speech.
Oh yeah, he also destroys the racism with the power of tearing off a label.
Yeah, I know he's good.
He's really good at destroying. We should put Kevin Costner in charge.
I think Kevin Costner should be in more movies.
Yeah,
I like him.
Like him.
Yeah.
But I mean, he probably doesn't have to because he's like in the early '90s. He made so much money, so he's probably really selective with what he does.
Yeah,
but...
I think now he just makes the movies. He's like, yeah, this one's me.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like the crowbar scene is one of the few scenes that I had a problem with because there's no transition. So I'm like, wait, how did all of our important characters get into this hallway at once? Like, did he just call like, hey, I need everybody to the hallway. I'm gonna break.
Well,
a sign
you missed
off
the
wall.
deleted scene where they're like, Harrison's gone crazy.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was thinking they're going like, so he's destroying the bathroom that's like a mile away from. Like, shouldn't he put like everyone's welcome on the one that's closest
well, no,
to them?
He's tearing down the only colored bathroom at NASA.
Right. So that means that all of them are the same now because there's not a whites only sign over the whites only one.
Over the ladies' restroom.
Right. Yeah. There's just a ladies' room sign.
East wing.
Yes. They're in the West Wing. Yeah. So by tearing down the sign that says colored, ladies' room, like then they're all the same. That was the point. But
like I said, he destroys racism.
But doesn't quite immediately solve her problem, which is what they really need to focus on.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it doesn't. It's
because I imagine like whoever wasn't in the room when that decree went down, like there's probably still other people at the NASA facility who are giving her dirty looks for walking into.
Oh yeah,
the closest bathroom.
Still. No, everyone was still racist. Yeah, he was just making sure that she didn't need to spend 40 minutes going to the bathroom. Which I don't know. There's a lot. This is a movie with a lot of like little subplotty things, kind of like that I think are usually pretty fun. Even the whole opening sequence with the car and the cop pulling him over is such a fascinating scene.
Yeah, that one
so much
lady
fun.
who played. I can't forget. I don't know why I remember her name, but the one who went to the Miss Jackson.
Oh, the one who went to school.
Yeah, I thought she was great in the movie.
Yeah, she was really good. And that opening scene does a great job of like setting up who they are.
Mm-hmm.
That like you've got the one who actually sort of is trying to take care of everybody and is resourceful and sort of an engineer, and then you've got our main character. Whose name now I don't remember. Catherine. Yeah,
Catherine Goebel.
Yeah, right. And then you've got Miss Jackson, who is like the
Mary
really
Jackson.
wants to be the rebellious one.
Mary
Yeah,
Jackson.
Mary Jackson. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a really great little scene. And then, well, it's actually the first scene when we're seeing her as a little girl, and like her family agrees to basically uproot their family to move her someplace where she can get a better education, and like. Going in, oh, okay, she's going to grow up to help put a man into space. That's where I was just immediately emotional, and I was like, and it wasn't even a racial thing necessarily. Like, that plays a lot into it, obviously, but there was still just a layer for me of, like, no, like, so many people who were a part of this project, that is a part of, like, what is wonderful about this, that it took so many people and they were all on this path to eventually do what I consider to be the greatest thing that mankind has ever achieved. Like, it's just, it's so cool.
And too, when you see movies like that where, Barack Obama, you can politically whatever you want, he's such a great speaker.
Yeah.
And then you hear Kennedy speak about the
yeah.
space.
No
matter what speech you listen to him talk about space, it's just like, he just inspires.
And they played just enough of that speech, because even that one little soundbite of the, not because they are easy, but because they are hard,
because
always
hard.
gets me. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. He's
wicked
just
hot for the space program right now.
It's just really, really pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's fun. Even the guy who played John Glenn, I love his. At the end when he's on the phone, he's like, "What about the smart girl?"
Yeah,
the smart girl.
I thought they're trying really hard to make him cool and like charismatic. Like,
yeah,
well, yeah,
I
they
can't
were,
believe John
obviously.
Glenn was like, like it felt very
I totally can.
hyper.
You know what? They succeeded.
Old John Glenn was really charismatic and like because he's one of the few people that actually sort of became like an outspoken icon of like him and Buzz Aldrin, and there's just a few that like you actually get to see.
Yeah. Well, I've never really seen them like be people. They've always been just like faces in a history book.
Oh, really?
So I've never like seen them just be people. So like watching this movie, it just feels like that John Glenn, he was a good old boy. Like
a lot of them were. Like you see a lot of those documentaries and meet these guys, and they're all. I mean, they're test pilots. Like they're Evel Knievel dudes who are wicked smart, but really just want to do something crazy. But yeah, I mean, John Glenn did a lot. Like back in the 90s, I remember when I was in school, you saw him like going to schools and universities and speaking, and like he did a lot of that kind of stuff where he was a very outspoken, pretty charismatic guy. Which is why it's sad that we just lost him a couple of weeks ago. It was kind of another one of those emotional things where like when he has these really great scenes in the movie, you're like, oh, I miss you already. Just a really, really solid movie, and they do a great job of making math cool and interesting.
I wanted more of it
since Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah, yes, I totally
like,
wanted
I understand
more of
why
it.
it's like not more in there, but like the part where Big Bang Theory guy, like they're actually doing like he's explaining the rocket with like the no-go zone.
Yeah,
throughout the rest of the movie, there's just like these vague calculations, and I'm like, I want to know what those specifically mean and things.
Right.
And
oh yeah.
So that's like the only downside, really, is like I want the educational part, and I get it's not in there because someone at the studio's like, we can't bore the audience.
No, because it's already 2.5 hours long.
But,
it's like
I always love being in theaters though when besides the lady who was telling me after something happened, what just happened next to me. But I do love it when the crowd reacts to things in movies.
Yeah.
Catherine has that line where she's like, you need to start acting like a boss or
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
And everyone
so
in my
many
theater's like, oh!
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, mine too.
So, yeah, I mean, the movie was lots of fun.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the emotional core is great, too. The lady who played Catherine, what's her...
Octavia Spencer is the one woman.
I don't know the other two. I forget the two ladies' names.
Taraji P. Henson is the lead.
Taraji
yes.
P.
Yeah.
Henson. And then,
she's wonderful.
Yeah, she has that a scene I think at the dinner where she's getting proposed to. Like that made me cry.
Oh man,
like,
that was good.
I was like, oh fuck you.
And again,
like
just,
a tears like coming down my cheek.
Just as like a simple little subplot,
Yeah.
but again, also gives you a lot of grounding to because it spans a very long period of time really. And so gives you some input into a perspective into the fact that these were people living their normal lives. Like I even love that scene where the Russians have put a man into space, and he goes to them and goes you all need to call your wives because this is your life now. You're gonna work and you're not gonna get paid for it, and we're gonna do this. And just to give you sort of that perspective of what that looked like. And what it would have been like to actually be in this weird room where you're just doing math all day and checking other people's math. What a crazy thing,
My two favorite sequences. Obviously, I talked about one, which was the crowbar scene.
Yeah.
But the second one was he's in Kevin Costner's in the room with the IBM people.
Yes.
And he just says, "I'm not paying you."
Yeah.
And then
I'm not paying any of you.
And he takes a beat. I'm not paying any of you.
Yeah.
That was when the audience reacted.
Yeah. That line is
good.
they have a tape measure and they're looking at it. It's like, it needs to be bigger. He's like, it needs to be bigger.
Use the big hammer.
Use the big hammer.
Did no one measure these things? Yeah. And again, that's another one of those cool things where it's, and that they're taking liberties with making all these things happen at the same time and really trying to make it one big cohesive thing.
Oh yeah.
But it does give you again this really cool idea of this is a time when all of this stuff was in transition and they were building these giant spool computers to replace rooms full of people doing math all day long, which is just insane.
Yeah, and I like that each of the main characters had a purpose. I mean, obviously they did in real life too, but they didn't rely on each other to get where they're going. They each had their own self ability to get there.
Yeah.
Whether it's being great at math, wanting to be an engineer, or wanting to be a supervisor. And, she took upon herself to learn this stuff. I love that motivation.
Yeah.
That they each kind of have their own arc,
Yeah.
where it's not codependent on other people.
I do want to draw a little attention. Okay, I've talked about this before. People should go see. You can get it, the old HBO. It's not really a documentary. It's it's a mini series, kind of like a Band of Brothers, but it was made after Apollo 13, called From the Earth to the Moon. There's in the first episode they talk about this, and so there's a lot of little things like this in Hidden Figures where they're either paying homage or actually showing you really cool, important moments in the space program, but they're just footnotes, One of them being when Gus Grissom comes down after his first flight and crashes in the ocean, and we get to see the door pop off, and it starts to flood, and we lose his ship, which for me was actually maybe the most emotional moment in the movie. And the reason is, if you're a NASA fan, you'd know this story, but you should go check out that show because they talk about this little story, which is Gus Grissom died in the Apollo 1 fire. And one of the reasons why that was so bad was because by Apollo 1, they had replaced the hatch with a hatch you actually had to turn the dial and then pull the door in, which in the 3 or so seconds that the fire started, there was too much pressure inside the cabin, so Ed White couldn't pull the door open. So what's interesting is that everyone thought that Gus Grissom was mistaken and that he had accidentally blown the hatch, and that's what went wrong. But they eventually proved that he was right and that it could malfunction, which is why they switched it out. If it weren't for that door malfunctioning, there would have been an explosive hatch, and he and Ed White and Chaffee would have survived Apollo 1. Which is, even now, I'm like, oh man, I hate that story. But so when that came up in the movie, I was just I was already, moved, and so when that happened, I was like, I'm done. This is the worst. I can't handle this. Why did you show me that? That's awful.
Wait, so in the movie, Gus Grissom almost drowned.
Yes,
and then he later
he dies in the Apollo 1 fire. Yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah, there's a really great. Again, you go watch From the Earth to the Moon. There's this great moment where they're doing the witch hunt to try and figure out whether or not they should just shut down the Apollo program after the fire. And this guy who ends up sort of being the hero of that moment talks to the engineer who just starts to sort of have this breakdown because he says, yeah, I'm the guy who proved that Gus was right. If I hadn't done my job well, we wouldn't have changed the door and Gus would still be alive. And it's the same kind of thing where you get to see the perspective of these people who were the engineers and you know, they're the guys who did this day to day and how hard they were working to pull off something miraculous. It's just such a cool story, and it's why I love these movies and this kind of stuff. So yeah, man, it's really good.
It is.
This movie also made me really realize how much I like space movies.
Yeah,
those are fun. I should watch Apollo 13 again.
Yeah, you should. You should.
I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I was just like as I'm walking out of the theater, I'm like, I really need to watch Tom Hanks try to fit a what is the line?
A square peg into a round hole. Yeah.
You should also watch Moon.
I've seen Moon.
You shouldn't watch Moon. It's not very good.
I said that because James hates it.
Yeah,
Moon's
it is good though.
Moon is a good movie.
It's not good. It's overwrought.
You mean it's not real? Is that why?
Yeah,
because we haven't done any of it yet.
No, it's just not.
It's not NASA endorsed.
No, it's just a really obvious. It's a really obvious sci-fi movie.
Yep,
it's not very good. It's pretty boring.
I'd say if on the scale of Apollo 13 and Independence Day Insurgents, it's like three notches above Independence Day Resurgence.
Yeah, all right. I'd be fine with that. The practical effects on the moon are good.
Yep.
Anyway,
next week we're seeing The Founder.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Sweet. Yeah, that's what Brad wants to see, so I guess we're fucking seeing.
Is it showing something?
Oh,
in town?
if you want to see something else.
No, I do not want to see Triple X Return to Xander Cage.
Oh, I'm seeing Triple X Return to Xander Cage.
Guys, let's all see that and then tell him we saw The Founder so we can get back at him for London Has Fallen.
Okay, I think I still win in that situation.
No joke.
We all come back like, my eyes.
Well, I don't know. I think that the three people who might like The Founder are probably us, and then there's a good chance you might come out of it and be like,
movie.
Yeah.
The Founder?
Yeah, I like McDonald's.
Oh, no, I want to see it.
I like Michael Keaton.
Strangely enough, I was thinking about doing that, where I was going to pull a big switch and be like, "Well, I don't know, because I saw Silence."
Ooh, I may see that.
It loses the impact because I've already done it. So now you're just like rebooting what I'm trying to do, and it just watered down.
It was a terrible reboot idea. That's why I didn't do it,
because it can never be as good as the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know. You like Casino Royale a lot.
I like Casino Royale.
Have I talked about how Triple X, the original Triple X, has one of my favorite lines from a villain?
Yeah, what is it? Bitches.
Bitches come. Yeah,
Bitches come.
It's great. And then just hot ladies walk through the door. Why is that a scene? There's that like rule of thumb in screenwriting that like the last line of dialogue said in a scene should be the purpose of the scene, right? Or should draw attention to the purpose of the scene. Well, the last line of dialogue in that scene is "bitches come,"
and they did come.
Yeah, and then the bitches walk in. So I think the point of that scene is that bitches come. Anyway,
yeah. Thanks for listening. As always, bye.
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 Real Nerds is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. We would also like to thank Sparks Mandrell for our music. Additional music from Ben Sounds. Thank you to Alamo Drafthouse. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics. And thank you for listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.